Hello everyone, I am back from Europe and back in action here to cast some StarCraft 2. So hello everyone, this is Cadoink from CadoinkStudios. I am here today to cast the finals, finally casting the finals of the Golden Below Tournament number 1, hosted by Animus, between AngryProbes and Arcanine. So spawning in the top right as the green Terran, I do believe he is a random player if my memory serves me correct. We have AngryProbes, and his opponent is, of course, Arcanine, playing as Zerg in the yellow color. Yeah, so I do believe Arcanine had to beat Animus to get into the finals, and AngryProbes had to beat Immel to get into the finals. Regardless of who wins this, both players are very, very good. They did a great job making it through the brackets, getting here to the final. There is no prize for first place, except for the glory of being the king of Gold and Below number 1. I think 2 days from when this video is being recorded, this weekend in fact, so if you watch this weeks from now, this will be a moot point, but there will be a Gold and Below tournament number 3. Number 2 was a team format. Number 3 will go back to this bracket play, and Animus is once again hosting it. So if you are watching this between now and this Saturday, or now and this Friday I should say, you should definitely go sign up for that if you are in a Gold League, Silver League, or a Bronze League. Yeah, so we do have AngryProbes doing the usual thing. He is getting his barracks up at his ramp, walling off. Very good normal things to do. Also getting his refinery up. Looks like he got the refinery at about 13, pretty standard time. And in the meantime, he is blocking Arcanine from getting his hatchery up, which can be rather obnoxious. One thing you can do is just put your spawning cooldown first, and then send a second drone and use one to kind of bait the SCV away, and then use the other one to plop it down, which is a very good thing to do. However, we will be sending one drone down, try and stop it. Ooh, he might be able to get by the SCV going in, and once again AngryProbes blocks. Nice play by AngryProbes. So another good usual response, this is something we see in ZVP a lot, is just to go ahead and take your third. You're going to want it anyway, you can defend it. Oh man, but AngryProbes is going to get there just in the nick of time. Excuse me. And Arcanine once again was blocked, so he did have to go back and place it in his natural, which is actually kind of an optimal situation. It can be a little risky putting it at your third, especially with the Hellion openings that a lot of Terran players are doing. In fact, we see AngryProbes is doing this. He's getting his factory. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lift this off and put a reactor on it and then switch it with the factory. However, it is a little bit late for that, as his factory is nearly done. Also popping out a few Marines, just going to be sending them across, maybe putting them at the watchtower, or maybe just scouting around, seeing if they can pick off some overlords. In the meantime, he will be getting his second gas up, and continuing to not be supply blocked. So some good things coming out for AngryProbes. Arcanine in the meantime is just doing the Zerg thing, which is droning. Droning. He did get his gas up, so he will be able to get Zergling speed if he so chooses. We'll have to see what he opts to get. Finally picking off that obnoxious SCV, and now he can just continue to drone. He has his queen up, so he can do those injects. And yeah, so not much is happening for either player. We do finally have the reactor coming a little bit late. Actually, 2 reactors. Very interesting. He will be going for double Hellion, double Marine. I do believe you can support this on one base. It's about 300 minerals per cycle, which should be fine. Excuse me, I have a little bit of running allergies going on, but that is no big deal. He will be popping out those 2 Hellions and getting some Marines, also opting to get another barracks. Probably going to put a tech lab on that so he can get combat shield or stem, something like that, in the near future. In the meantime, it seems that Zergling speed was started, that metabolic boost for Arcanine, so pretty good usual thing. Also popping out a few Zerglings. He's doing very, very well. He's not overproducing Zerglings. He does have 6 now, which is a little bit more than he probably needs at this current point, especially with this Hellion kind of opening. What I would like to see him do, perfect. He does have some Zerglings around at the watchtower. His Overlord placement is great. Ooh, and look at these 2 little Marines just slipping across the top of the map. The Overlord probably did spot them leaving, but He doesn't really know where they are. They could be down here. Most likely up here as it avoids the watchtower. So we will be scouting around with some Zerglings trying to figure out where they are. Very good usual play. He also sees that the Hellions are coming by. They did kill the Zergling at the watchtower. He should be able to hold this just fine. He has 2 queens as well as a spine crawler. He's going to be going in with some Zerglings. Probably not the best decision. He actually does manage to pick off one and get one in the red. So it ends up basically being worth it. He's a little bit ahead in the workers lost tab. And he should be able to hold this with the spine crawler and this queen. I do believe this is with the queen patch, so queen should be able to do some damage. He is moving his drones away to make sure he doesn't lose any. That would be really annoying. Picking off one of the Hellions with the queen, another one soon to go down afterwards. And now he's only left with one. The Hellion opening has gotten a lot weaker ever since this queen buff, because the queens can just attack those things from so far away. But Hellions are still a very good unit against Zerglings and against drones. I would like to see some more drop play against Zerg with Hellions. That would be so sweet. Blue Flame coming in, just doing epic amounts of damage. We do see that Arcanine has built his lair. He also got up his evolution chamber, getting that +1 carapace, so he will have a little bit more armor. Also has a roach warren down, which he is getting that glio reconstitution. That roach speed that will help his roaches be a lot stronger. This is very good play. However, his opponent is building some marauders, which are quite good against roaches. Doesn't have any upgrades yet. Really needs to be getting that concussive shell for those marauders. Then he can chase down large groups of roaches and kind of pick off a few of the stragglers. It's really, really nice. Ooh, and interestingly, we also see an infestation pit for Arcanine, so we will be getting those infestors. Kind of an infestor roach play, an infestor roach mix, which is really, really strong against Terran. If the Terran player is going mainly Marines, then the roaches will just be incredibly strong, and the infestors can just fungal them all. If he's going Marauders, it could be a little less strong, but if you get some really nice fungal growths down, it can be worth it. Especially if you catch the Terran player when he does not have that many medevacs. In fact, we do see the starport just going down with the reactor on it, so we'll be able to produce 2 medevacs at a time. Medevacs are an incredibly good unit, and so we will see how AngryProbes utilizes that and how many he opts to make. In the meantime, it looks like Arcanine is getting some more gas, has all his gas geysers selected, or all his extractors being built, so he will be able to produce a lot of infestors. He's also getting that pathogen glands, which will give extra energy to the infestors so they can pop fungal growth right as they come out. Also, he's getting the, I believe that's Overlord, the carrying, no, it's the Overlord speed, excuse me. He is getting Overlord speed, so he will be able to move his Overlords across the map more quickly, allowing him to get more vision, more scouting information. He can send this Overlord in with a little bit less risk of getting picked off. That can be very, very nice. And Arcanine, yeah, is just taking a 4th, gearing up to just have an awesome economy. He has quite a bit of minerals, so I'd like to see him spend it on a nice big army and do some pressuring. As he's kind of letting AngryProbes just do his thing. AngryProbes has an expansion. He's getting up an engineering base so he can start getting those upgrades. Getting a missile turret, maybe for burrowed infestors, I don't really know. But he's getting some tanks up. It looks like he wants to do a Hellion drop, which is exactly what I said I wanted to see. So very awesome by AngryProbes. However, very unfortunately for him, Arcanine just has great vision with all these Overlords, so he will be able to see that medevac scoot by. Also, once again, like I said, the second that Overlord speed finishes, he sends the Overlord into the base to scout everything out, and he sees absolutely everything. Phenomenal play by Arcanine, just utilizing that Overlord speed as soon as it pops out. In the meantime, the production for AngryProbes is quite good. He has 2 barracks with the reactors and then 2 barracks with Tech Lab, so he is able to produce a nice sizable army. In the meantime, he is moving out with his Marines and his Marauders, which can be a little bit of a risky play, leaving his tanks behind. Really should bring them along for support. With this bunker here and just rallying units, he should be fine. But it looks like he might not be attacking, he might just be moving out, taking map control, which is also a very good thing to do. In the meantime, the drop is going down in Arcanine's base, doing some nice damage. He really needs to get those drones clumped up, which he just did, picking off quite a few, but the Zerglings aren't just now streaming in, and AngryProbes really needs to escape. However, he does lose all of them, but not before picking off 6 workers. A nice little bit of damage. He is still trying to push ahead in the resources lost. He's only down by 50, so that is not at all a big loss for him. But just the fact that he did that drop and he kind of pushed Arcanine a little bit, poked and prodded him, so he was a little bit, his attention was a little bit split, his focus was a little bit split. That's the point of those sort of things. If you can do damage, great, but more importantly, if you can kind of psych out your opponent, even just the slightest bit, that can be so huge. So we do finally see AngryProbes moving out. I like this. He's sieging his tanks up a little bit early. He doesn't want to get too over-eager, too overzealous, and just kind of run in and get everything killed while his siege tanks are not sieged up. He will be pushing forward a little bit, picking off some of the creep tumors, which is very good. But here comes the Zerglings. He really needs to back up, which he is doing. He's re-sieging his tanks. Great play. They will be able to get some shots off. Fungal growth goes down, kind of missing a lot of the units. But AngryProbes, all his Marines and his Marauders are kind of clumped up. He really needs to be careful. He saw that fungal growth. Once you see that fungal growth and you know it's out there, start splitting your units. Just grab groups and right-click. Grab groups and right-click and make them smaller and smaller and smaller. And then start just kind of pushing your tanks forward. He does see one of the infestors, but oh my gosh, a great fungal growth going down. A second one as well, taking these units very, very low. In fact, there are only 3 medevacs on the field, and all the units are getting picked off so quickly. However, Arcanine is running into the siege tank fire, so he will have to put down some Infested Terran just to have a little bit extra DPS. Infested Terran's so great against tanks, and he does manage to pick off AngryProbes' force. I would say it was a little bit risky running into those tanks like that, but he was able to do it. He did have a strong enough army. But now he's revealed the infestors. He's revealed the 4th base. So he really needs to start taking advantage of his lead. He needs to continue to drone up, make sure these places are saturated. And then he needs to start getting his upgrades up, which he is doing. Probably I would like to see some more evolution chambers go down. I'd like to see him tech up to a hive. He can do it. He has the money. I would love to see gas on these extra bases, because his gas income is really quite low. Only at 400, excuse me. So I would like to see these things from him. In the meantime, AngryProbes is kind of behind. He really needs to be careful. Trying to pick off this Overlord, such a great play. Try to avoid that scouting information. That's just free scouting for Arcanine, and if you can pick it off, that's so useful. It gives you a little bit of extra comfort. I love that he's taking a 3rd behind this. When you're behind, just kind of turtle up, take a 3rd, and then hope to get the army supply back up. We do see about a 30 difference in army supply. In supply, and actually in army supply in general, their work count is very much the same. And so when you're in this situation, you really just want to catch up army-wise, because what actually ends up happening is there's this interesting window where one player is ahead. Let's say it's like 80 food to 180 food. But the problem becomes, in 20 food, you'll be capped at 200, so then it'll be 200 to like 100. There's still that 100 difference, but the problem is your production has essentially stopped and your opponent has not. So he can actually close that army supply gap in a certain amount of time. So that's why it is so great for AngryProbes to just sit and turtle up and wait and try to close that gap. And I love this by Arcanine. He is finally moving out. He's not going to wait till he's capped. He doesn't want to let that supply gap closed. He's also splitting up his army so he can do a counterattack into the natural. And AngryProbes, he's not buying it. He's lifting up his command center. Excellent play by him, keeping his units in the kind of similar zone where if Arcanine comes up here, he'll be able to defend. If he comes up here, he'll be able to defend. Just fantastic play by AngryProbes and fantastic play by Arcanine. Denying this 3rd denies extra economy that AngryProbes could have. Ooh, losing an infestor, a little bit of a blunder, but he does manage to get off a very nice fungal growth. A good amount of medevacs out for AngryProbes. Could have some more. He needs to continue that production. He is producing Thors right now, which I think is an interesting choice. Thors do a lot of damage, but there are no mutas on the field, and I don't know if I agree with this play. I would like to continue to see Marines and Marauders, as if he kills this army with Thors, that's great, fine and dandy, but Arcanine will see that there's a majority Thor army, and he'll just produce tons and tons of Zerglings. So AngryProbes will finally be moving back out, trying to take his third. He will be landing this shortly. However, Arcanine is just waiting to attack and do the damage he needs to do. But look at this. It's now 150 to 180 supply. Gap's getting a little bit closer. So Arcanine really needs to do something, doing a great fungal growth. I would love to see him push out at this time. That fungal growth doing quite a bit of damage, and he needs to do the damage before this planetary finishes. It does get cancelled and it will be lifted off, but it might get destroyed. Some infested Terrans coming down. Oh, excuse me. Infested Terrans doing incredible amount of damage, and the command center will go down. Oh, that's so tragic. Poor AngryProbes. Infested Terran have one of the best DPS in the game, to be honest. Yeah, just incredible DPS, and AngryProbes moving out, but a great fungal growth going down, just crushing everything. Oh, all the medevacs go down but one. This is so bad that the Zerglings are coming in from behind. They will be able to do a little bit of damage, but the tanks managed to pick them off. However, in the front, the Roaches are coming in doing all the damage they need to do. The tanks are about the only thing that's left. A few Marauders, and actually only Marauders at this time, throwing down those infested Terrans so that he can just destroy everything. Tanks finally going down. In fact, the medevacs will go down. Oh, nope, they will not go down. Nice save for AngryProbes. However, this is looking so bad for him, as all he is left with is a Thor and a bunker full of a few units. While his opponent is up at 6,000 minerals, he can re-max instantly if he's on top of his injects. And look at this! Producing only Zerglings. Just like I said, he saw the Thors. He knows that Zerglings are great against Thors, as they take a long time to do the damage that they need to do. So the Zerglings can just swarm in, surround, and crush everything. In fact, he's getting +2 melee attack as well as +3 carapace. Also getting that adrenal glands, which is a Zergling upgrade. And yeah, this is just going to be very, very bad for AngryProbes. He's not able to take his third. His main is mined out. His natural is looking very, very low. Doesn't have that much in the way of reserves, only at about 300 minerals. He doesn't have another command center, so he really needs to move out and secure this as best he can. And actually, this is a very nice Thor army, 6 Thors, but against these Zerglings, especially if he pops some more. Ooh, look at this. Even an Ultros Cavern going down. I don't know where it is. I'll look around. Right there. Ultros Cavern as well as a Spire, so he can do that crazy Zerg tech switch where you hit him really hard with Ultros, and then you just switch over to Broodlords or vice versa. It'd be so, so strong. In the meantime, AngryProbes is moving out. Arcanine with just a great response, seeing that coming, knows he should just back away. Let his Infestors get a little more energy. Let him get a few more Zerglings up. Which he is producing 60 Zerglings at this time. That's going to be so huge against this army. And even if he loses all those Zerglings, he will be able to just pop them out again. The interesting thing will be, will AngryProbes hit before or after the adrenal glands finishes, the +2, +3 armor? When that finishes, it looks like he might be going in a little bit early. I don't think it'll make a difference. I think Arcanine has a big enough army to be able to deal with this. But if AngryProbes waits too long, those upgrades will definitely put the last nail in the coffin. Slowly inching forward, and here comes the big final engagement. The Zerglings coming in, doing as much damage as they can. Some good fungal growth going down, but fungal growth is not exactly optimal against Thors. So throwing down some Infested Terran instead, which just have great DPS, like I said 1,000 times, and all the Thors do finally go down. And there's the GG by AngryProbes. Oh my goodness, that was just such a huge attack by Arcanine. A lot of Zerglings doing tons of damage, so congratulations Arcanine for winning game number 1. This is a best of 3 format here in the finals of the Gold and Below tournament. Once again, I do apologize for not getting this out sooner. I was in Europe for 2 weeks and all this craziness, but I'm back and I'm ready to cast all the StarCraft 2 you send me. So I will be coming to you with game number 2, where if Arcanine takes it, He will win the Golden Blow Tournament number 1. If AngryProbes takes it, we will move on to a game number 3. So I will see you guys in the next game. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, please like the video and comment. And just thank you so much for everything, and thank you for your patience. And I will see you guys next time.